Hello and a very warm welcome to everyone watching. This is Stephanie at Galleries at Lynn Arts, and today I would like to present to you the GALA artist statement. First off, I'm going to go ahead and give you some tips on how to write an artist statement, and then I would like to give you some specific notes because we at GALA request a specific format. Let's dive right in. What is an artist statement exactly? It is the how, what, and why of your work. Let's look at an example. The how would be, I am a painter using oil as a medium. The what would be, I mainly paint city buses. And why are you doing your work? I show how people deal with being late. It is not something else. The artist statement is not a biography or a CV. What is a biography or a CV, you might ask? It is something like this. I learned how to draw from Dr. Seuss. My art is exhibited in Alcatraz, and in 1880 I won a medal for most original haystack painting. These things can go into an artist statement, but usually they are better referred to in the biography or CV. There's always the question of why would you write an artist statement? Let's say you as an artist make photos like this, and oftentimes your buyers and visitors in the gallery will have very little context. And the context and reference might be provided by this artist statement. So this image, for example, might receive this type of comment. I just don't get it. And the artist statement might go ahead and put them on the track to understanding your artwork. It might say the artist is interested in showing animals in an urban environment. We at GALA actually do use your artist statement, and we use it two different ways. We do have a binder, and all the artist statements are collected in it, and we show that one in the main gallery. Everybody can go ahead and look in it. But for some shows, we also want to exhibit it right next to your artwork because it will give some much needed context for some viewers. Let's look at a sample artist statement and what it all should contain. Here's one on the right that shows a little bit of what the format should be. First off, you would write artist statement and then your name or just your name. That is right here, Jane Doe. Then you would go ahead and write in the text 1 to 3 paragraphs where you're talking a little bit about your art and what makes you special. For example, Jane Doe wrote that I am an award-winning watercolor artist and I specialize in pet snake portraits. That is the body of the text. Then at the bottom, you often put contact information, social media handles, and your website. The contact information should only be added if you feel comfortable that everybody who comes to the gallery can see it. We also have the option that if you do not want to give out this contact information, that a prospective buyer can contact us and then we contact you with the buyer's information, and then you can go ahead and contact them at your leisure. But please send us only Word doc or PDF files. We have a very old office printer that we use to print these. And if you want to go ahead and be really, really fancy, which is wonderful because we love your artistic side, go ahead and print it yourself and bring it to GALA in person because our office printer, like we said, is not really able to handle much more than just a Word doc or a PDF file. Here I will give you some tips and tricks to actually go about writing one of these statements. First off, most important part, brainstorm. Write everything down that applies to your art. You might be a sculptor. You might work with wood. You really like eagles and mice and actually all animals. And realism and abstract art is important to you. The second step would be to go ahead and narrow this down a little bit. Which ones are the ones that are most important? Pick 5 to 10 words that are the most applicable to your artwork. For example, here I picked out, in our example, you might be a sculptor that deals with found wood and mostly sculpts animals and then afterwards paints. The style is realistic and you're interested mostly in capturing the beauty of nature. So these words are your starting kit now. And then you just go ahead and you think about these. Remember, you have the how, what, and why in your artist statement. And it's very easy now to go ahead and pick out the words that say how. I am a sculptor. I use driftwood and found woods, and I paint my sculptures. Then you go ahead and you check which of these words tell us what your art is all about. My art is based on a realistic depiction of a wide variety of animals. Could be a good start. And why do you make this? Do you want to present something of beauty or make a statement or confront an audience? In this case, I would say you might write, "It is important to me to show people the innate beauty of natural life." And this is when you start writing. You start writing and you don't worry about the length at this point. You can always condense it later. And in fact, most often you will have to. Then you go ahead and you sit back and enjoy. You have done a thorough job, and no matter what it looks like, you should be proud of having started and completed this very first step. So let's just say this is a good depiction of your artist's statement the way it looks right now. Now comes the not so fun part. You edit. You have to condense what you've written most likely. Oftentimes the gallery will be noisy and full of distractions, and you have to get your point across, no matter how many distractions a prospective buyer and a viewer might face. It's always easy to use a lot of really fancy words, but formulating things clearly and easy to understand is not just an art form, it's also necessary under these circumstances. There's just basically one point I want to bring across here. That is, if you can say it with 3 forks, do not use 25 to say it. Something that's very nice to do at this point is to go ahead and get feedback. Use friends, family, other artists. You might even consult your dog. Well, actually, especially consult your dog. It will really help you go ahead and make your artist statement the best way possible. Now, this sounds like a lot of rules, and I would like to reiterate that there is actually no wrong way to do it. Your artistic vision is unique, just like you, and your artist statement should actually reflect who you are. Just try to keep it under one page because that's much better for our folder at GALA. To wrap things up, here are a few more links that we find give really good information on artist statements. You can also find these links in the video description below, and I hope that will help you go ahead and write a killer artist statement. Thank you!